boom. I love that beat. Do you think this is like one of the coolest intros?
Oh, yeah. Great, bro.
Yeah. Let me turn up your mic here.
Turn it up, baby.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
There you go.
Let me go like this, like out the side.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Hey, everybody, I'll be talking like this.
If this is your first time tuning into the show, welcome to the LV Home Experts Radio Show, where we talk about real estate and financing every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So today, we do have a special guest. His name is Jeremy, but he's not here right now. He's on his way. We are starting the show a little bit earlier, so if you guys also want to call in with your questions or have any comments regarding the Las Vegas housing market or any questions regarding financing, got my man Dan here with Guarantee Rate. Be able to answer any questions that you may have. So as we wait for Jeremy, man, how's everything going with you?
Good, man. He's coming in on a helicopter, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's coming on top of Pacific Vegas.
like an all-star. You know how they do it, like an all-star.
Oh, yeah, man.
So we got 20 people on the feed calling in live. We haven't had a live caller for a long time. We don't really promote live calls. However, it's nice to do a live call. So if you want to call in with your question at 702-409-4495. Or if you just want to call and chat, just call and chat. Jeremy's coming later on as a guest. Yes, he is. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
What's up, buddy?
There he is. Jeremy, what up, my man? Oh, man.
And some probiotic, liquid probiotic.
There you go.
Oh, what do we got here? Extra content? Extra content for you?
Behind the scenes.
Oh, behind the scenes. All right.
Nobody until you're behind the scenes.
Okay. So, the behind the scenes, we got to shut that door a little bit so that way we can get the overview look. Look at this. This is the overview. Yeah. So, Jeremy, why don't you get that mic on right there and that headset? All right. You see that right there? I mean, you can, or you can just have a seat down there, but you're going to be in camera. But she doesn't have a seat. Hold on. Why don't you guys chat it up, Jeremy?
Yes.
Put on the headset there.
I'm gonna put these like this. Where's the mic?
Okay. The mic. Hold on.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. You got it. There you go. And you guys just tighten it up. There you go. Come on, man. You know what you're doing. You a superstar. Act like it.
I know. Stop that. I know I'm playing. Simulants. Okay.
There you go. We're gonna get the
Fucking around.
mic turned on here. We got to do the special intro again. Here we go. Just for Jeremy.
I apologize for my tardiness.
Oh, don't even worry about it. It's all good.
The lady, the nice lady up front.
Okay.
I was like, "Hi, I'm here to see Chakits." She's like, "Who?" I'm like, "I don't think that there could be anyone by the name of Chakits at this brokerage or anywhere else in this fucking city besides him."
Well, I think it's Chakits.
Yeah.
Chakits.
I can tell you that's the easy thing. Like for him, that's a great unique seller.
Yeah, it is. Because they know what's going on. They know who's who. You know what I'm saying?
If you mess up,
like I'm like at the airport or on an airplane with this. I'm
Yeah.
put it right here. I can hear you guys.
Okay, if you guys can hear it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's completely fine.
Cool.
But you don't want to You don't want to mess up your hair.
No, not the 17 hairs I have left. I got to keep perfect place.
There you go. Tighten it up
do
and
what
get.
I do, man. You got to wear a hat.
Yeah, get it up close to you.
I look. You look good. I'm not just saying it in a hat. I look like a child.
Really?
Yeah. I do.
Well, I want to say thanks for taking your time to come on the show here today.
Oh, thank you.
We are live.
Like I said, I had a great time. Like seriously, it was a great experience when you came to my listing at St. Croix. And we did the
that's right.
walkthrough. That was fun.
It was. I think the asking price on that home was 7.7
Yes.
million.
Yes, correct.
So we did a collaboration together, and also we did a video too as well, walkthrough video. I think there was almost 100,000 views.
Really?
So go ahead and check that out if you guys are interested. That property's still for sale, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We got some showings, but a lot of showings for that price point. I can't believe how many, especially in December when it's traditionally everyone's done for the holidays and no one's traveling. At over 33 showings.
Yeah.
And we got more scheduled for tomorrow and it's getting going again. But these properties don't sell overnight. As you know this.
So let's talk about real estate a little bit before we get into the luxury side, because that's what you specialize in. How long have you been a real estate agent?
It will be 18 years in April.
18 years. Wow, that's a long time.
April. So was it 17 years and 9 months, something like that? I don't know if I get the change. I'll just call it 18 years. We'll wrap it up.
Okay, there you go. Wrap it up.
Save time.
So how did you actually get started into the business? And what company are you with?
Oh, excuse me. I am with Rothwell Gorn Companies, and I've been with them this whole time.
You're going to tighten that up just a little bit so that way it doesn't tilt on you. Yeah, you see that little... There you go. There you go.
Perfect. I should know this by now.
Yeah, there you go. So,
my real estate, how I got into real estate. Well, I was, just in college and and bartending.
Yeah.
And doing great. This is 2003. I just got my bachelor's degree in history. I'm a big history buff. And from UNLV. I'm born and raised out here. Going back and forth.
You don't get too much of that anymore. You know what I mean?
No, you don't.
I think you're like the second or maybe the third person that I know personally that was literally born here.
Yeah. And it's a unique thing. Like I said, it's like a unicorn with zebra stripes.
Yeah.
Especially, even 20 years ago it wasn't so much, but even now it is. So I grew up with my close friends since we were in junior high school, since early 90s, Richard and Ryan Crichton. Richard and Ryan own Rothwell Gorn Companies.
Okay.
And funny story, it sounds like a movie because it sounds just like Wolf of Wall Street, but it came out, this happened 8 years before the movie came out. I just got my degree. I was bartending in a place called Del Frisco's. Okay. So I love the place. Still go there to this day. And I was killing it. I was making, I don't know, $4,500 a month working 4 days a week, which is a lot of money now. And it's a lot of money in 2003.
Yeah.
And so Richard called me. He's like, hey, how's it going? And the usual. But then he asked me about money. And Richard had never spoken about money. We'd been friends for 12 years at that point.
Yeah.
He never talked about money with me ever. About anytime I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm killing it. I'm like, I'm working 4 days a week and, make about $4,500 a month. This is great, Young guy, just 23 years old, just got out of, just graduated from college, living the life.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm making $4,500 a day. So what are we even talking about here?
Yeah.
And it's straight out of the Wolf of Wall Street. I was like, all right, I work for you now. Click. I picked up my phone. I fucking quit.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, wow.
I did.
And then you just got your license and hung out? Yeah.
He never spoke like that. Richard don't play.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that because he does. He's a legit real estate guru, especially in the commercial area. And he's at 40 years old, he did over $1 billion in business. He was just honored by the last year by the Association of Realtors.
What's crazy is like you never really hear his name or you don't really know who he is in the industry.
No.
But we hung out today and I had a great time, by the way. But this dude's a baller, bro.
Yeah, there's
like he's the real deal.
No joke. It doesn't matter. Yes, we've been friends for 27 years, but I know some geniuses and prodigies in this business. I've seen them come and go and still in this business. I know more than most in this business, at least 99%.
Yeah.
Let's just say conservatively. Richard makes me look like an idiot.
Yeah.
He's a real estate guru. He's a savant. He's cerebral. There's like a feel to this business at the level he's at that like, I'm just like, wow. And he's a good, a significant reason why I'm in the position I am today. All these years of mentoring and the friendship it's a people business. Yeah. When it comes down to it, people want to, put this online and do everything and make it all about numbers and photos and videos. And that's all great. But it's about connecting with people and really getting into it. And that's kind of a lost art. And Richard really positioned me well. And I didn't know it the whole time. I was like, why is this guy busting my nuts about this and this and this and this? This does none of this that matters. It all mattered. Yeah. I just realized that he had 40 years old a few years ago. I'm 40 years now. I was in my late 30s. So I was like, oh, I thought that he was just trying to give me a hard time. No, he's trying to make me the best.
Oh, wow. So what do you mostly focus on right now? Just more of the luxury side, right?
Luxury. I got some commercial development stuff going. Been doing commercial. Trying to follow in my family's footsteps. They built over 30,000 homes in town in Vegas. Lewis Homes.
Oh yeah, yeah. You were telling me about that. Yeah.
A month or two ago.
Let's elaborate on that because that's very fascinating. So your parents, they were or your father was a developer out here, right?
Yeah, my father and grandfather and his cousins and my uncles and great uncles started building homes in Vegas in 1976, and they were built over about 33,000 homes, and then they sold in 2001 to KB Homes. Yeah, and they still sell most of the land to KB to this day.
Oh, so they have a lot of land.
Yes. And so when KB needs land and other home builders need land, they still come to Lewis. It's Lewis Operating Corp now. We still have a big presence in Los Angeles, especially Ontario. But yeah, they got out of the game, but they still are working with everyone. And so I had the unique experience, which is very few realtors in the country, let alone the city. I think the only one that has, that's gone through the home building process. By 8 years old, I went and started following around and start digging foundations. Then went to concrete, then went to HVAC, then plumbing and framing and stucco and all that stuff. And so by 11, 12 years old, I knew more about building a home than most general contractors do.
Wow.
And so I didn't know where that would take me. I didn't want to be in the business, whatever. I wanted to take over. I thought I was just going to slide into the family home building business and sit back. Mm-hmm. But then I got the news they sold it. They killed it. They sold for $1.2 billion to KB back in 2001. And I was like, I lost my shit, to be honest with you, because I was 20 years old and I was like, thought I'd just have a nice little easy life and take over the family business and not have to really do much. Mm-hmm. And I had to rethink everything after that. So
where's all the money at? You don't get a piece of anything, or?
Nope. They, like I said, they didn't. That I'm not playing. Everyone assumes that, and they're right to assume it. But no, they didn't. They wanted me to make my own way.
That's fascinating.
What about a will? They didn't put you in some type of trust or something.
Well, let's keep it real. I'm not gonna wait around when my father passes. I'm a very wealthy man.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not waiting to sit on, waste my life and just.
Yeah. Why would you even do that?
Hoping my father passes away, and I don't. I hope he lives to 100, and I never touch any of that money. I'll make it myself, and I did live like that to a certain degree for most of my career, and I was a boy, and it didn't make me a man. It was real. People thought I was lazy, but I was just afraid because I have these titans on my shoulders. My mother's one of the first women. She started Ed Bernstein's workers' comp department. She's an attorney.
Oh, wow.
In 1988, and she went off on her own in 91. She won the first woman to have her own law practice in Las Vegas, and she pulled me out of school. I was at Cannon Junior High in 6th grade, and she pulled me out of school. I was like, this is great, to remodel a 1950s hair salon on 7th Street in Charleston into her first law office. And I was like, manual labor. After a few weeks, I was like, send me back to school to look at girls.
Yeah.
And so I had these titans that expect, it was a false thing because they weren't really put that pressure on me, but I was like, I got to live up to my mother and my father and everyone else, and I mind fucked myself.
Yeah.
And I was afraid to do anything. I just was very resourceful, had all these resources. I had education, and like I said, Richard, Ryan, et cetera, and I just got everything the easy way. And I thought it was, everyone thought I was killing it, and I was doing well on the surface, but I was fucking dead inside.
Yeah.
And I didn't like who I was at all.
Now, fast forward today. Let's just jump ahead here.
Yeah.
Where are we at with the market right now?
I mean, the market, people say you throw the word around crazy a lot. And it is crazy. It's just it's the greatest sellers market in Las Vegas history.
Yeah.
And I've seen up and down markets. It's cyclical, and it's going to shift.
Do you know when?
Hard. I mean, it's supply and demand. People, I'm sure you've heard this, and I know you have too.
Yeah.
You hear the people that say, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait till the market crashes to buy a house or to invest.
Yeah.
So I hear that every day to this day. And I'm like, great. Get me, or they expect to pay prices like we did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When we were in a complete collapse. And I tell people, I'm like, awesome. You have a time machine that I don't know about. I have a little bit of money saved.
Yeah.
Take me with you. Well, I'll throw in with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's a fantasy. It's a fallacy. World War II happened. That means it has to happen again because it happened before.
That's true.
We're not in.
Yeah.
I was buying houses with stated income, nothing down, 10, 12 at a time back then. Everyone was doing that. The market's completely changed. You have to give a DNA sample to even underwriting to consider you for getting a loan.
Yeah.
So the loan markets have been completely shored up since 2010, and the supply and demand.
Yeah.
Until we get to, a balanced market. Before COVID, we're at what, 11, 12,000 homes on the market.
Yeah.
I was doing well. It was great. It was a balanced market. We're at 3,500.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be a real estate expert, respectfully, in my opinion, to
know what's going on.
I really believe that. Like once we get to a more stabilized, balanced market, then you need to rely on rely on me, for buyers and sellers, investors. But market's not crashing, the market's not shifting until supply and demand goes, and that's economics 101.
And how many offers are you now writing before you get an offer accepted?
I mean, it depends on the price point. But I have a friend right now, Marine Corps vet, close friend of mine. He's approved for $450. I'm writing offers. I've already written like 24.
24?
Yeah, on different properties. And the strategy I'm employing, I'm ultra aggressive.
It doesn't sound like there's a strategy. 24 offers.
I'm going to tell you the honest to God strategy, because we need to realtors need to work. We talked about it. We were at my listing, and I mean it. And that's why I'm here. Realtors, we need to work together.
Yeah.
We need to hang together, or we're all going to hang separately.
I like that. We need to hang together. We're going to hang separately.
Like I said, it goes back to my history buff, in being a history degree. That was what George Washington said. There was a mutiny going on at Valley Forge, freezing to death, 1776.
Yeah.
1777. They're losing the war. It's across from Jersey. Like, there's no food. They're starving. And they're having a conference, the generals in Washington's. Like, there's a mutiny on board, and we need to attack now. We need to cross the river, and we all need to hang together. Or we're all, gentlemen, we're all going to hang separately.
Exactly.
Well,
I like that.
And we do, and it applies to us today.
So somebody at 450. So what is the strategy at the 450? Because that's a very aggressive market. Majority in your demographics and your income level is going to be around that price point, right, Dan? At the 450. So you're going to have a pool of buyers, right? So many sharks in that little pool. How do you get somebody to get their offer accepted? What is your strategy?
Well, I mean, I'll let you chime in as well. But
no, go ahead. I mean, you can answer it.
Okay.
He's just there to look good.
And he is, no doubt. So
normally I don't wear a mask, so
no, I'm just letting you a hard time. I know you.
Okay, so what were you saying?
So at that price point, anything close to that, anything under 500, even above it, I tell my clients straight truth, because people assume I only do luxury. No, if you're a real buyer, seller, investor, I will go to war with you at any price point if you're serious.
Okay.
If you're willing to do what it takes, and you trust me, and there's a certain amount of give and take in this business.
So if you're a real buyer, you will work with them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. But if you tell me you want a castle with a moat and a pool, for 200, no, you're not serious.
Yeah.
If you're qualified and you are reasonable in what you want to buy or sell or invest in, I will work with you. I'll spend exactly the same amount of time as I did for my $7.7 million listing or my $3.2 million listing, and I mean that.
I was going to say, you talk about like agents sticking together, right? What is the percentage of people you think are doing this full time as an agent? There's anecdotal numbers that my feel from doing this so long and knowing so many people, but I check with my title reps, and they run numbers. So the rough numbers in this business of 20,000 realtors, 1,000 of us do 95% of the business of all transactions, and then of that 95% of deals, 200 of us do 60% of that.
Wow. So
there's about, let's run the numbers a little bit, being, not putting it up right on spot, about 300 to 400 do almost every fucking deal in the city. Everyone. So, but
that's what I've noticed about this industry. Like, once you start doing more and more deals, you kind of really know who the players are, and you kind of see the same name again and again, right. The same
and
agents.
You see it on, and we do a lot of stuff on social media. My whole business model is built on social media, because 6 years ago, I kind of saw the future, and I'm taking credit for that, because I took a chance and everyone thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And now it's the gold standard. It's the only way to go, because
the gold standard. I like that.
It is the gold standard. I call it, when COVID happened, I became the essential. We had the essential employees. We're essential employees, realtors, and we got to keep working when everything was shut down. my way of marketing and advertising your way
Yeah.
became essential, and people really opened their eyes. They had no choice because they're locked in their house.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when there's 300-400 owners doing all the transactions, doing all the business, and then those people, and rightly so, I do it, are putting that on social media and everywhere and marketing themselves in all media platforms. Looks like everyone's killing in the real estate game.
Yeah.
Nah, 300 of us are
Correct.
getting money, doing well, being hustling. The rest, they're not. And I want to change that.
Now, I want to go back here. So if you have a buyer at $450,000, they are a serious buyer, okay? What are some of the tips or techniques or strategies that you can share with somebody out there that's having a hard time getting their offer accepted at that price point?
Right. I don't believe in secrets because I think that's bullshit in this business. Yeah. And so I want to share that with agents and buyers, sellers, investors. What I do that's proven effective, and I've been, like I said, I'll put dozens of offers in. First, you have to have an agent that's willing to put the work in. It's not fun.
No, it's not.
It's not fun. I was out last night, 6:30 across town. I live down the street from here. We're in Green Valley Ranch. I was off of SUMMERLIN Parkway in Buffalo at 6:30 at night. It's a fucking line to get into this house for $395,000. It's a little cold. My client's a little complain. I had to pull the car up and, keep it on, like, schmooze the realtor in front of us. And she was nice and worked it. She let us come in with her and her clients. It was great. Otherwise, I would have waited another 30 minutes outside, and it was ridiculous. That's the kind of things you have to be willing to do, though. And I'd expect that. And you have to be able to chime in. I'm on call 24/7, 365, and people think that's a saying or a cliche, and no, it's true. And you have to be willing to do that in order to get deals done in this market or to be successful in this business. But I will put dozens of offers in, getting down to the brass tacks of it. If my client's interested in something, I will, before we even look at it, I'm like, okay, this already has multiple offers. I'll check.
Yeah.
You got to call and you got to talk to these agents. Text, whatever it takes to get a hold of them. Show some initiative. Oh, someone doesn't answer the phone? Well, keep calling. Keep calling until they do.
Yeah.
Until they do. Keep texting.
Yeah, because sometimes I notice some of these listings, when they go on the market, the average days right now is like less than 10 days.
Right.
And what happens is, as soon as it goes on the market, they may have multiple showings or multiple offers at that time. The agents won't update that on the MLS.
No.
And I'm guilty of it too, you know what I mean? Because we're getting so much offers, we just don't have the time.
Yeah, it's not
and,
even
and that's a good reason why you're going to call, because you don't want to even drive out there.
Call.
Yeah.
I don't care what it says, unless it says awaiting signature. It's going to say, I don't care if it says multiple offers. See what's going on. They could be all bullshit offers.
Yeah.
Or they could be all cash over list. And then that's how you need to strategize with your clients so you don't waste their time or yours.
Yeah.
And so I'll call, okay, they're going to be reviewing the offers in 48 hours. They have 4 offers right now, et cetera, et cetera. And I break that down, and then I get with my clients after I find, let's say, these 7 properties interested in.
Yeah.
I find out the status of the property first. And then I get with him, and then we prioritize, based on the information I've gotten and his level of interest and my experience.
Yeah.
How to attack, like what is realistic in getting.
Yeah.
Okay, this property on 362 Topaz has 7 cash offers. Well, he's a VA buyer. They're going to take the cash over 100% financing or even a conventional financing or FHA all day long.
Now, what happens if your VA buyer offers more money than the cash buyer? Will your buyer still have a opportunity?
And that's what I love we're talking about this because this is good stuff. You have to. That's where the balance comes in.
Yeah.
Are you willing to come out of pocket $10,000 to $30,000, burn it in a trash can?
Oh, burn it in a
trash can. If it doesn't appraise, it's gonna be you're throwing your fucking money in a trash can and burning it. Yeah. I'm not, I do well, and I don't want to put $20K literally in a trash can, light it on fire. It's exact same thing. It's not going towards your down payment. It's not going towards anything, but to get the property in. If it appraises, great. That's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. It is. You're going 30,000 over list. Who says you're? Let's say it appraises 10,000 over list. You're coming up with $20,000. That's a lot of money to just throw away.
Well, let me say this. So, would you do it though based upon the competition and the growth factor? Like, you may never think you're going to get the money back. We all know that, like, you know, markets always recover, right? You see that homes appreciate. We're counting on, I would say, this is my opinion, 10 to 15% this year. So even if you're going in 20 above,
Right.
wouldn't you say, well, this is more of a long-term game? You know what I mean? Like maybe it is at the short term, like, yeah, that is throwing money away. But to play the game, and you really want to play the game, sometimes you have to lose a little to gain a lot.
That's a good point.
No, you have to, and I agree with that. But you have to educate, I guess, your clients.
Mm-hmm. But that's a very nuanced, like, you have to be, you have to have a kind of a sophisticated, you know, point of view as it comes to real estate to see things like that. Most people are not, and they come to us because we're the experts.
Right.
Hey, Jeremy, can you keep that mic in front of you
excuse
when you turn too as well?
Yes.
There you go. You kind of got to like turn your head like
Boom,
this.
excuse me.
Yeah, there you go.
Me. You kind of have to educate them, but you have to be realistic with them. And a lot of times they're not going to understand. Well, you're buying ahead of the curve. It's going to appreciate. Well, how do you know? We don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're making bold assumptions, even though you're right. I agree with you. 10% at least. It's supply and demand.
Yeah.
But I can't guarantee that. And then if anything goes wrong, you know who's going to be to blame. Anything. You. Me.
Yeah.
I think you look at like a first-time home buyer, maybe that's not the same, right? They might look at that 20,000, so that's significant. But like if you sold your house, I think it's like this: you sell your house in another state and you make a profit.
True.
You're really just swapping one money that you made off of one house, probably a huge profit,
Yeah.
and then just risking that money that you made. So I mean, it's a risk, but I think it just depends case by case, right?
No, it's situational, and I agree with you 1,000%. If different story, if you're selling even here and taking your massive profits and your equity gains, and then going, yes, you're gonna. What you have to expect when you sell. Well, you just killed it. You think you're gonna get a property, you get a great deal on a property? No, you're gonna be paying the premium that someone else just paid for your home.
In California, New York, Las Vegas, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Different story. Most where I come into a problem with, you know, with buyers is that they are first time, or they're not selling.
Yeah.
They're not selling, and so they're like, ooh, so my life savings is going to be gone, banking on market equity accruement, you know, projections.
Right.
And as people are afraid, it's COVID, you know, all these variables are going on right now. And so that's where it's at, but like, it's still no excuse. You know, the show must go on.
So let me ask you this, on your personal opinion, when we talk about the luxury market, what is the price point to you for luxury market?
Now I feel like it's at least 1.5.
Okay.
At least. I mean, you're not getting anything even a year ago. I sold a 6,000 square foot property in McDonald Highlands about a little over a year ago for 1.75.
I'd pay anything for that property now.
Yeah, pool on the golf course,
Yeah.
Dragon Ridge Golf Course. It's Tuscan, but it is a great property. It's beautiful, 4-car garage.
And what is it worth today? Probably like 2.5, huh? Or even more.
Sold it for 1.75. I'd say they could put it back on the market right now, 2.3, 2.4.
That's crazy. I remember like $1 million would buy you a lot. Nowadays, I mean, at $3 million, I mean, you're kind of breaking into like, you know, luxury at $3 million. That's kind of my sweet spot. It's like, but majority of my clients that contact me now, it's like when we get into the luxury market, they always want the modern look, right? The contemporary, all straight lines. But that doesn't start until you hit 3 million, but you're at the beginning of that. And you're going to be anywhere from literally from like 3 million to like 5 million and up when you start getting into the luxury market. Now, talking about the luxury market here, are you having challenges with buyers as far as getting offers accepted at that price point?
Not in that. Going back to finish up, because I know I went off tangent for the regular, forfeit, the regular, I call it the regular market. That's not right. It's, I don't know. Brain fart.
We know what you mean. Go ahead.
A three to $700,000 market, which is the median, I guess, typical buyer. You're you're putting in offers based on availability, and then we don't even look at them. I advise them, what do you like? There's already multiple offers on all of them. Anything that's a decent property already has multiple offers. It's only been on market for less than a week. So my strategy with them is to just put the offers in, your highest and best, and if we get a counter or we get it accepted, then we'll go take a look. Yeah. And then if they don't know this, and that's where we need to educate them. There's no deal until they open escrow. Yeah. So like, oh no, we don't want to get accepted. They have anxiety that they're locked in. No. This is the only power a buyer has right now. Yeah, yeah. Put in as many offers as you can. Yeah. You like it, then take your time to actually look at it to make sure, it's not, smoke and mirrors. And then execute, open escrow if it's the way to go, and count your blessings. Yeah. And that's it's a crazy strategy, honestly, but yeah, dozens of offers, sight unseen. Oh, wow. That's why I tell them now, I won't show them anything until. Are
you also waiving appraisals as well?
Yes. Wow. How are you going to compete? Yeah, that's unless true. You're cash, you don't have to. You don't have an appraisal. There's almost always a cash offer. Yeah. There's or two.
What are the statistics though that those cash offers are giving the best output for the seller, right? Because they pretty much never are. They're always
they're not. You're right.
They're trying to get a home run on those.
Well, right? Here's the trade off. So a seller will take less if it's cash, unless you're willing to waive the appraisal. Then they will sell it to you. They will prefer you because instead of 400, you're going to give them 423, and the appraisal comes into 407. You're already locked in, and you're coming up with the deficiency.
There's a property that I wrote an offer on last week. I think it was like at 600. We are a cash buyer from China. We bought multiple properties. On this one, this is a probate sale, and we offered like $40,000 more, and that was basically our highest and best. But the reason why we got it accepted was because it was a clean offer, number one. Number two was a cash offer. Right. And also we're buying the property as is, where is condition, repairs. Which, that's a pretty strong offer, and that's very hard to compete. And the only way to compete against a cash buyer,
list and waive the
yes, that's
I can't basically compete with that. My client can't compete with a cash offer, no repairs. Yeah, unless they go, you're in for 600, unless we offer 635. Yeah, then there's an incentive, and then we show. Sometimes they show the deficiency funds in the bank. And we got to show you put up or shut up.
And I noticed the down payment, right, of how much you're putting down is also important. Last week, I also wrote another offer for a full asking price. It was a clean offer, but this was financing $1,450,000, and this thing was clean, right? I'm talking about the offer was so clean, but we got rejected just due to the fact that we only had 10% that we were putting down. Even though that we had more liquid, right? Because 10% of, 1.45 million is like 140,000. Yeah, it's a huge amount of money. It's a huge amount of money. However, we still sent over our bank statements showing that we had about 800,000 cash, but because we were only putting skin in the game, 145,000, right? That's the only reason why I lost this deal versus another buyer that was doing financing. They were putting 20% down. So they had like more skin in the game, which didn't really make any sense because at the end of the day, when you cash a check, you're cashing the check. It doesn't matter, right? But what happens is sometimes the seller, I notice, they feel like, hey, you know what? They're not putting as much as down, right? And that could also affect you too as well.
That affects that's all something price what points. I've noticed. I'm glad you brought that up. It's another tactic that you know what? I have no secrets. I don't care. Let it be known. We are not locked. Buyers are not locked in to their down payment amount. Yeah. They're not. They can get different financing. Of course, they have to disclose all that. They can go from FHA to conventional to cash. Why negotiate against yourself? Yeah. You could change at any point. Give the strongest offer. And I advise my clients. Yeah. Oh, you don't have. You have how much you have in the bank? You have 80,000. Okay, you only want to put 30,000 down. Let's put 80. Let's put 80,000 down. Something changes. Yeah. We can change it. All that matters is closing. But on the surface, it gives it the appearance of a much stronger offer. And it's like you said, it doesn't matter to your point. Yeah. There's no harm, no foul, because when it closes, it closes. It doesn't matter if you're putting 80% down or 3% down.
Correct. So when you write up your offers, are you going strong right out the get-go and this is your highest and best? Because I know some listing agents want to play the game, send over the counter. So typically for me, when we write up the offer, I'm always doing my highest and best, and I will note that into the additional terms. This is the buyer's highest and best. We're not playing games because we don't want to go back and forth. It's you take it or you don't, right? Some agents will use that as part of their strategy, but do you play that game and see, hey, you know what? Let's see if we can get a counter offer.
It depends on, quite frankly, your position.
Yeah.
We don't buyers. This is all, with the home builders. When the market was down, they begged us for help.
Yeah.
We helped and offering us 3%, and I was getting $2,500 bonuses. Now they don't need us for a couple years, or they think they don't.
Yeah.
They fuck us.
Yeah, that's
Cut
true.
us out completely, some of them. Mm-hmm. Oh, 1%, 2%. No, I'm procuring the buyer. I don't care that you're writing the offer. Anyone can do that.
Yes.
Bringing the money in the buyer is all that matters.
That's a good point.
They're not, it's gonna bite them in the ass for the ones that turn their back on us.
That's funny
because they're
that
gonna
you-
need us in the future.
Well, that's funny that you say that because there are certain tracks that builders weren't paying anything, but now they're starting to pay commissions now, and they're starting to bring that back around because they realize
And it
we
goes
actually
back-
do need real estate
And
agents.
it goes back to us all hanging together because
hanging together or
individuals,
you
we're
individual.
we are. I'm weak as an individual realtor, broker. I don't care how much business I do.
Yeah.
I have a team backing me. I work with other agents. We come together, we back each other. We can move the needle where we need to for ourselves because we're putting the work in. We should get paid.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to pay us, stay consistent. Never offer me a dime.
Yeah.
In good or bad market, I'm not going to talk shit to you about a builder or anything that. Stay consistent. Oh, now you don't need us. You think you don't need us temporarily. You want to get greedy and cut us out? Well, what goes around comes around, and that's not a saying. That's the business cycle.
Yeah.
When it goes back to a buyer's market, I'm going to remember. I'm an elephant. I never fucking forget.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: where's the best location to buy a home?
I mean, people have their own preferences. That is somewhat subjective. There's some great areas in town. I know we work right outside of McDonald Highlands. I mean, Green Valley Ranch is amazing.
Yeah.
You have, Southern Highlands is doing some great stuff. If you like a master plan community, Inspirada's fantastic.
Yeah.
And, I grew up around this area. I love Silverado Ranch, et cetera, et cetera. I like the proximity to the airport and the Raider Stadium and the Strip. But people like to live more burbs, Summerlin. Summerlin South has some great new builds.
Yeah.
And some luxury stuff that's going on, some really great views. I like the I'm always used to looking from the south.
Yeah.
It's kind of a south looking view, south to west.
Yeah.
Southwest, But Southern Highlands and Blue Heron had some spot in a model home in there I looked at about 4 years ago, and I was like, it's a southern facing south north strip view. I thought it was amazing. Also, the east side, you find there's some enclaves right on Black Mountain. The east side views of the strip are ridiculous.
No, I think
they're
are
better
nice.
than even some McDonald Highlands in Askaya.
I think the problem is that when you drive down there, you got to go through some of the stuff that is not as eye appealing.
You're going to go through lower. Majority is lower end neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So I get it. If you don't want to buy a home for $2 million when there's 90% of the homes are $300,000 to $400,000.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, but the views, I mean, some of these custom homes, because there's lots out there and some development. I went to a few broker opens the last couple of years. I was in shock. I was like, these views kill it.
Yeah.
For a fraction of the price.
And a lot of those homes out there don't even have an HOA. I noticed a lot of them, right? Versus if you come out, towards like the west side or the Henderson side, the south side, a lot of these custom homes are in these master plan communities and these neighborhoods that charge a very high HOA.
A huge amount, and a lot of people want to have their RVs or boat parking or do something, and you can't do any of that, and you have no space for it, and there's all these restrictions. And I have clients that want the guard gate and all the rules and a second gate, and that's what they prefer. And then I have clients that want no HOA, want their own, free range. I call them, and that's it's just different strokes for different folks, and you got to match the property that works for them.
Now that we're going into 2022, how do you feel about this market? Where do you see this market in the next, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months?
I don't see any movement. We are not even in, I just called on an in-house listing with Rob and Angie Adams. Again, I grew up with them as well. They're my company for forever.
Yeah.
I said, hey, what's the status on a one-story, 400,000, good area, Silverado Ranch. We have 18 offers.
Oh, wow.
It been on market like 2 days. 18 offers. And it's January.
See,
Damn,
The spring buying season has not even emerged yet.
so we had that in the middle part of last year,
We did. It was
and it was shortage of homes, similar. So I mean, what would open up getting more homes here? What would you think?
We had to build up.
That's a good point. We
need
don't
mixed-
have enough high rises.
We have no mixed use. I'm not even saying mid-rise, mixed use.
Yeah.
Like big cities. We're a big city now.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
I remember, when
I
I
would.
was, up in
She's saying no, I would. I love that lifestyle. Okay.
she's scorned by the LA
Oh, is it really?
traffic. We need to have. That's the only way you can build out. Yes, Sky Canyon, the Centennial Hills. They're building past Southern Highlands. They still call it Southern Highlands. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's like going on your way.
The
On your way to
coves.
state line. Yeah, like nonsense. Like if you want to, there's nothing wrong with living there, but. Yes, you're 30 minutes from something, and people cry and complain about that. They haven't lived in any other big city where it's an
Yeah.
hour to get anywhere. But no, there's plenty of mix. There's potential where we need to have zoning changes because we don't need to have a big monstrosity high rise. No, I don't want Turnberry Towers in off of 215 in Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
But we should definitely have mixed use stuff where
There is a lot of land still available because every time
There
I
is.
fly over, right, I look at the city, I'm like, there is a lot of land.
where it's all zoned. Yeah, it's all zoned. Commercial, or like you said, straight residential.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We need to change the zoning and have some of these 5 to 9 story mixed use projects and everything. Like you said, you have the commerce on the bottom. You walk downstairs. You got your coffee shop, your Starbucks, whatever your place, your dog. It's great parks and all that stuff. And you go in your business. You can even work down there. You go to your job. And then you got 5 to 9 stories above. It's not obstructing anything. It's not some like sticking out like a sore thumb because everything's 2 or 3 stories and then you have a 30-story high rise in the middle of the thing. It looks weird.
You should become a councilman. You'd be a good councilman, dude.
Mayor, councilman. What is he?
Oh, he wants to go for mayor? Oh, look at him. He's like councilman. No,
Councilman.
I want to be a mayor, dog.
Exactly. No, I'm just kidding.
Mayor Lewis.
Hey,
Mr.
from your
Lewis.
lips- From your lips
Mayor
to God's
Lewis.
ears.
Yeah,
From
there
your
you
lips to
go.
God's ears.
Have you ever seen that Back to the Future where they say
Yes,
that?
mayor.
Hey, wasn't that Biff?
He's not elected mayor. he's cleaning the fucking floors.
Mayor.
I'm gonna be mayor someday. Mayor. Yeah, that's a nice ring to it. Mayor.
Oh, that's
Oh my
perfect.
God, that's great. For us, you kids won't know that. Us
Oh, that's a
30-somethings
classic, man. People know that's
Yeah.
That's a classic.
She knows.
Yeah.
But but I think your questions are all. I'm not just saying it. Like they all apply to really all sectors of the market.
Yeah.
Because we're stressed in different ways at all price points, and we need to work on that. Yeah, you can't even get anything. I just showed the only standing inventory blue heron in the fucking city. $3.25 million. It was gorgeous. My client loved it, but it was on the market 48 hours, and he didn't want to put in. He had to be in the area, had an offer, and he didn't want to be pushed around like that.
I noticed that. I just had a
And especially,
conversation.
like you said, you're spending millions and millions of dollars. I get it.
Yeah.
You have to take into consideration the supply and demand of the market, but there's also the people are. You have to manage egos.
Yeah.
I tell all my agents that I bring on the team, and I've had these conversations with Ryan Richard over the years, and I'm on many levels. Is all the education experience and things I've seen and not seen, and all the mentorship and time. I'm more of a glorified adult babysitter.
I am.
Well,
And
as a real
and you
estate
have to be.
agent,
And
you
have
kind
to
of
be.
do wear a bunch of hats. You're a therapist, right?
do.
You talk people off the ledge. You know what I'm saying?
You're working, like I said, people are getting divorced, their
Yeah.
relationships are breaking up. These are difficult things. There's deaths in the family with
Mm-hmm.
probate sales. There's bankruptcies involved in short sales.
Yeah.
And like these don't extend well be out of the realm of real estate.
Yeah.
These are hard things in life, and people look to us for surety.
Yeah.
And we don't have all the answers, but we better act like we do, because people are hanging on a razor thin edge as it is. Life is scary. It's scary out there, and we need to provide some surety, some confidence, some clarity, and that's what I try and do with people without bullshitting
Yeah.
so much. There's a certain there's certain irrational fears that buyers and sellers and investors have, and you have to quell those, like I said, but not to, like you said, blow smoke. Give them some real reasons why, but not give them, I'm not a college professor. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an economics, guru. I don't control the interest rates,
Yeah.
I'm not the Federal Reserve. Neither are you. Like, we can only make educated and experienced predictions, and, and give information based on current market conditions. And speculation is the mother of all fuck ups in this business, as far as I'm concerned, because that's what I did. That's what led me to making millions in this market when I first got in, and then losing everything when the market crashed.
What it sounds like you're saying is just understand the real estate game and what's really going on in the Las Vegas market. Then from there, educate yourself and reposition, because sometimes it may be a good time to buy, sometimes it may not be a good time to buy, and that depends on your financial situation. But before we end this podcast, I just want to say thanks for coming on out here. I really do appreciate it. And I definitely want to bring you back on the show for a
Please,
second
I feel like
episode.
I just sat down. This is awesome. No, seriously. I love this. This is great. No, and I appreciate you having me on as well. No joke.
If somebody wants to find you because they want to do business with you, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, I have business cards, but I don't pass them out anymore because we're in a digital age. And so my Instagram is my best business cards. It gives my whole body of work and tells my websites and exactly who I am. So it's Jeremy Lewis Vegas Realtor is my Instagram handle. Or they can call, they can go to my website, jlvegasrealestate.com. But contact me. I reply to all messages or calls. You call me, or I might not answer, but I will call you back. It's a lost art these days.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important. I'm preaching this not for me because it helps me. I want to tell everyone, you answer your phone, text people back. You don't have to do it immediately, but I always call everyone back. I always take a meeting. I always will text back, or if you message me on social media, I will get back to you
Cool.
as soon as possible. So message me. And
Well, I do appreciate it. And guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Jeremy's contact information in the
appreciate that.
link in the description below. So if you guys have any questions, I want you guys to reach on out to him. And he's definitely going to help you on out. Also, if you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, check out our Instagram too as well. And if you have any questions regarding financing, visit lvhomeexperts.com. Click the financing button and start on the financing. Other than that, until next time.